Welcome to Bite Size, a collaborative psychoeducation mini-podcast series created by Healthy Poor and support staff. In case you haven't heard about us, our organizations were created by hospitality, for hospitality, and are actively working to increase knowledge and awareness of mental health in our industry. If you'd like to take your learning a step further, check out the glossary of terms and thought prompts we have available at www.pleasehustleresponsibly.org. And thank you to the Restaurant Workers Community Foundation for supporting this series.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Bite Size. My name is DJ Watson. I'm a marriage and family therapist in Chicago, Illinois. I have over a decade of experience in the service industry, and I'm the Director of Therapeutic Support Services for support staff. Today, I'm going to review how to talk about mental health. What is mental health, and how do we talk about it? In this episode, when I talk about mental health, what I'm referring to is someone's ability to balance their emotional, physical, psychological, and social well-being. If you're interested in learning more about what mental health is, check out the first episode of our Bite Size podcast. So now that we know what mental health is, let's review how to talk about it. Often people tell me the biggest obstacle to talking about mental health is fear. Fear I'm going to say the wrong things, fear that talking about it will make things worse, fear that people will judge my illness, fear that people with mental health struggles are unsafe, and so on. Let's address how to deal with some of these fears and some best practices on talking about mental health. First, let's start by normalizing mental health struggles and disorders. Throughout our lives, we will have times we struggle to manage some aspects of our mental health. Think about times where you felt stressed at work or school, lost someone close to you, or even a global pandemic. Mental health disorders occur when these struggles begin to negatively impact our daily life. When talking with someone about their mental health, we want to keep this at the forefront of our mind and enter in these conversations with compassion. I typically suggest people do 5 things to help these conversations be productive based on recommendations from the Mental Health Foundation of the UK. 1. Remove distractions and do your best to create a space where you can give the person your time and attention. 2. Don't try to be their therapist or diagnose. Give them space to share, but don't push so hard for information that the conversation becomes an interrogation. Be careful not to make assumptions about what the real quote-unquote problem is. Even as a trained therapist, I always try to keep in mind that the information I get from my friends and how it makes me feel is very different from the information and the feelings I would have if I was working with a client. 3. Listen closely and ask open-ended questions. Repeat the info back to make sure you understand. When asking questions, try to ask open-ended questions as opposed to yes-no questions. This provides more information for the asker and lessens the sense of judgment for the answerer. For example, instead of asking, "Are you okay?" you could ask, "How are you feeling right now?" or "How can I help?" 4. Ask about their supports and offer to help them find new ones. You might ask them, "What do you normally do to deal with your struggles?" or "Who do you normally talk with?" If they're lacking supports, offer to help them find new ones. This could be encouraging them to try supports you found useful, such as exercise, podcasts, meditation, etc., or encouraging them to build their own supports through therapy, medication, or attending a support group. 5. Know your limits and ask for help. Remember that caring for others pulls away from your time to work on your own mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual health. Pay attention to the signs that you're getting drained, take breaks, and seek support. If you feel like you're in over your head or you're worried about what to do next, reach out to a medical professional or a trusted helpline for assistance. In our next episode, we'll continue our discussion in mental health and we'll focus on how to talk with others about our mental health struggles.
Thank you to our donors and our sponsor, Restaurant Workers Community Foundation, for helping to make this episode possible. To help support this podcast and our other programs, please consider making a donation at www.pleasehustleresponsibly.org. Be sure to subscribe and tune in next time to learn more about mental health.